morning. I'm back. This is story time with Mrs. Mullins. I haven't been saying that, but from now I'm going to start trying to say this is story time with Mrs. Mullins. And I've been reading the Bible stories. I've really enjoyed reading these to my kids, so I have been blessed, so I wanted to bless others with this. Today we're reading story number 4, Birthday of a World. The verses that this story comes from in the Bible is Genesis chapter 1, verse 9 through 13. It's early on the 3rd day of creation week. During a very great earthquake, land has mysteriously risen from the ocean. Islands of all sizes and shapes have appeared. We can see majestic mountains, rolling hills, and lovely beaches where before we saw only sea. Yet something is missing. The land looks dark and barren except for bright, glittering patches here and there where precious metals lie on the surface. Not a tree or a bush or a blade of grass grows anywhere. Surely God does not intend for anyone to live in a place like this. Wait a minute. It's too soon to judge. Listen. The same wonderful voice that said, "Let there be light," is speaking again. Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds. Now look, what a transformation. The hills have turned a vivid green. From one side to the other, they are covered with grass, bushes, trees. Look at the mountains. See those glorious pines, cedars, redwoods, reaching up the sides of the highest peaks. And the fields, what beauty. Look at all the flowers. Masses of them, of all kinds and colors. They look like a vivid carpet spread over the whole countryside. Buttercups and daisies, poppies, marigolds, bluebells and daffodils, hollyhocks and snapdragons, geraniums and delphiniums, orchids and begonias, roses and lilacs. How did God think of so many? How marvelous He made them all, each with its own delicate design, its own special coloring and fragrance. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seeds according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kind. And God saw it was good. It must have been very, very good with God as the designer and maker of it all. I like to think that He enjoyed Himself making all these plants and flowers and trees, each one different from all the others. Then he gave them the power to reproduce, all according to their kinds, through all time to come. God seems to have been especially interested in the fruit trees. With what care He made the apple trees, the plum trees, the pear trees, the orange trees, the lemon trees, the avocado trees, and all the rest. I think I can see Him moving from one beautiful tree to another, perhaps even tasting the fruit, saying to Himself, "They'll like this, I'm sure they will, and this, and this." For God was not thinking of Himself, but of a special man and woman, the beginning of a family who at the moment existed only in His mind, but who soon would be real, living beings. A family to whom He was planning to give all this beauty and loveliness, all this wealth of treasure and delight. All the gold, silver, and precious stones that sparkled and glittered amid the grasses and the flowers were for them. All the generous provisions of nuts, fruits, and grains was for them. All the glory of this wonderful new world, all was for them. to make them happy, to cause them to turn with love, adoration, and thankfulness to their Creator. The world was nearly ready for them. Nearly, but not quite. God had to do a few more things. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. So that's the end of story number 4. And I will come right back, and I'm going to be doing a couple more stories, just so I can get a couple more in. So I'm going to just keep on going for as far as I can. I really appreciate the opportunity to do this. I know I say that a lot, but I really have enjoyed sharing these books, and it gives you something different to think about, and gives you different images in your mind of how God created everything. So I'll be back. Thank you.